One of the biggest pains in life is comparing yourself to others. We often think, why is she so successful and I'm not? But here's the thing, her path and mine are not the same. Imagine this. If a fish wants to fly like a bird, it will spend its whole life thinking it's not good enough, even if it can swim across the entire ocean. These days, because of social media, this habit of comparing ourselves has become even worse. We see someone else's success, and suddenly, our own life feels small. We forget our own talents. And slowly, this way of thinking pushes people into sadness and hopelessness. So today's story is for anyone who has ever thought, I'll never be as good as them. Listen carefully, because every line in this story can change the way you think. Once upon a time, there was a small village near a town. And beside that village, a big, beautiful forest. In that village lived a boy named Ethan. Hardworking, kind, but there was one thing that made him feel sad all the time. He always compared himself to others. When he saw his friend Liam always getting the best grades in class, Ethan would think, I wish I was as smart as him. When he saw his neighbor Ryan, rich beyond imagination, he thought, I wish I had money like him. Even seeing someone run fast made him wonder, why can't I run that fast? These thoughts made Ethan more and more unhappy. He couldn't focus on his studies. He didn't enjoy anything anymore. All he could think was, I'll never be like them. One day, a wise old man came to the village. Everyone called him Grandpa Joe. He always gave helpful advice, and everyone loved listening to him. Ethan approached him and said, Grandpa, I work really hard, but when I see someone doing better than me, I feel really sad. It feels like I'll never be like them. Grandpa Joe smiled and said, Come to the oldest tree in the village tomorrow morning. You'll find all your answers there. The next morning, Ethan went to the tree. Grandpa Joe was already waiting. Look around carefully, he said. What do you see? Ethan looked and said, Grandpa, there are so many different trees. Some are tall, some are short, some have lots of fruits, and some have none. Grandpa Joe smiled and asked, Now imagine if the apple tree compared itself to the coconut tree and said, Why am I so short? Or if the coconut tree said, I wish I had sweet fruits like apples. How would that sound? Ethan laughed. That would sound really silly, Grandpa. Exactly, said Grandpa Joe. Now, how does this whole forest feel to you? It feels peaceful and beautiful. Everything seems just right, Ethan replied. Just like life, said Grandpa Joe. Every tree in this forest has its own special quality. The apple tree gives sweet fruit. The coconut tree is tall and strong. They are different, but both are important. Then Grandpa Joe took Ethan near a pond. Fish swam in the water. A bird flew in the sky. Now imagine if the fish said, I wish I could fly like the bird. Would that be right? Grandpa Joe asked. Not at all, Ethan said. Fish are made for swimming, and birds are made for flying. Grandpa Joe smiled gently. Then why do you want to be like someone else? You have your own path, your own strengths. Maybe you just don't see them yet. Find your strengths and move forward with them. Something changed inside Ethan. He finally understood every person is different, and comparing yourself to others only brings pain. From that day, he stopped comparing himself to anyone. He focused on his own talents, his own work. Slowly, confidence returned. Life felt fresh, exciting, full of possibilities. A few years later, Ethan built his own business. He became an inspiration for the whole village. Whenever someone asked him, How did you become so successful? He would smile and say, Never compare yourself with others. If a fish tries to fly, it will always feel like a failure. But if it focuses on swimming, it can own the whole ocean. Remember, the sun and the moon don't shine at the same time, but both are important. Find your path. Walk it in your own way. That's when real success comes. If this story inspired you, give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you again in a new story.